undefeated. The game wasn't going to get changed back. So what was that going to do? And even if you're going to have it at that moment, that discussion, you ask the guy to go in the tunnel, don't you? I mean, I keep going back. Maybe you don't do that one step in front of your dugout an hour before first pitch with a representative that's putting on the tournament, who, by the way,
wasn't his call.
I was about to say, don't think that the number one bitch Sully should have had was call. He should have called Bristol, and said, ESPN, what are you doing? You're killing me, because I guarantee you, ESPN's got more pull than the representative helping run that tournament. Right?
Hey, by the way, we got to move this start time.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger.
No. Let me tell folks about, before we get back to sports, a huge party. They do it every year here at Hurricane. Huge party out, and it's going to be inside Hurricanes this Saturday, outside. Did you hear what's going on, man? It's unbelievable. Tents outside, live music in the parking lot, bands, Stella, brackish vodka, cornhole tournaments, raffles, giving away TVs. It's a big party. Going to tell you all about it as the show goes today. They do it every year, and it's upon us, man. They had a big blowout last year. Man, you need to get down here.
I might have to participate.
You may need to get down here. It's inside, outside, specials galore, all kinds of fun. And I know Josh and his wife, the owners and operators here, Callie, they this is kind of their thing they do every year now. It's this big blowout party, and it's perfect here. It's Hurricanes here in Georgia Creek is on the corner right here in the parking lot, and we're right on the water. Big stuff going on.
There's plenty of parking.
Plenty of parking in the front and the back. And Josh was telling me, if you fancy yourself as a big-time cornhole player, you got a team, get signed up. There's going to be cash prizes and prizes. So contact Hurricane Jointon Creek to get signed up for the cornhole tournament. All kinds of stuff I'll tell you as we go today, all the way through 6 o'clock. So I thought that was pretty cool, showing that that Doak Campbell renovation. What's going on with you, man? How was your trip over to the island? You went to see Mississippi State play?
I mean, it was good. I'll tell you one thing. Northeastern, they're out of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Boston. And they were on a 27-game winning streak. So they were running their mouth. And first game, they beat them. And then they and then they won again, and then we had to play them twice. Mississippi State ends up playing them twice, beats them twice. Second game was 3-2. They pitch it very well. They just didn't hit it very well. So they didn't score a ton of runs. But I mean, there were good games. Florida State. That game on Sunday night was a lot.
Yeah.
It was 2-0 Mississippi State going into the 7th, I believe.
Yeah.
And the storyline, Mendez, the Ole Miss transfer.
Yeah.
There was a lot of jawing going on. Link gets thrown out in the second inning. And when you're in the stands, you're like, what do you get for? Because, and I'm going to pause for a minute because I can't stand this, and I'm probably going to be called a purist. But this trash talking, from a pitcher looking at the opponent's
college baseball, it's gotten not epidemic, but it's. I'm hearing that across the country. I'm hearing this across the country now from people, and not just get off my lawn, old guys. It's gotten a little. College baseball's gotten a little bat flippy, and a little pound your chest.
You can do all that to your guys.
In my opinion, it's gotten
upstage the other team.
It's gotten a little bat flippy.
Well, that started. I think that's how Link got tossed. Because you don't really know when you're live at the game and have the broadcast on or anything. Sure. But he gets tossed in the second inning, and then forget who it was. It's two-run homer to tie it.
Yeah, the big outfielder.
Williams.
Yeah. It was Williams, but
not Max.
Let me ask you this before we go through the whole game. We just saw the FSU renovations on the football side, and you were at a couple of baseball games in Tallahassee. I haven't been over to Dick Hauser in a long time in Tallahassee. But it hasn't changed much. I've been saying FSU's got to do something with their. It doesn't it feel like 1990s in their stadium?
I concur and FSU Nation confers. I mean, I hate to say this because it's kind of 80s. We
They-
played there in the 80s.
And it was the same.
Basically,
I
the
played
same
there in the 80s.
stadium.
I played in the 80s, and it really is basically the same stadium. It really is.
The difference, because what remember the tornado went through the campus and tore down the right field fence, so it's just netting. It's not
Yeah.
even a fence.
Yeah.
And
So
they gotta
that's
do
their
something
next.
with that.
That's their next capital project. They've got to upgrade the baseball park,
It has to.
and everybody across the country at the Power 4 level has upgrade. I mean, you can go. We could go right now to some Big Ten places, and the Big Ten has what, one kind of team in the tournament still. UCLA's kind of in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
But FSU's got, and they know that. But they just did football. They've got to upgrade baseball, and I still think Link Jarrett would have never taken that job without an assurance.
Without
Hey,
an agreement.
within about 5 years, we're going to start. Shuffle's going to break dirt. I would think. I would think. So anyway, you agree? Baseball, FSU, the park's got to get a little spit
Well,
shot.
and they deserve.
Yeah, and they deserve it. Certainly they do.
So listen, Link's second year, he won 40 games. Do you remember the legendary Mike Mark? 41 years.
Yeah.
40 straight. 41
Ridiculous.
seasons.
That's
insane.
Just ridiculous. Major League Baseball talk. Let's switch gears a little bit. We'll start with the Braves. Strider goes tonight. Braves. Don't look now. The Braves are sitting now behind the Nationals by a game and a half. They're in fourth place now, but not tied with the Nationals. They're a game and a half behind the Nationals. Did you see where they fired their third base coach and rehired Freddie Gonzalez? You see that? Former manager. He'll come and now be and the Braves, my Braves friends, I can't tell you how many texts I've gotten last year and this point of this year. It's been weird. I've probably got 6 to 10 texts about Major League Baseball teams being terrible running the bases. You really don't hear that? The Braves have an epidemic. They had a bad news bears moment a week or so ago, and that's what got this guy fired. They fired their third base coach.
Yeah. Well, side note, Freddie Gonzalez, my high school catcher.
Yeah.
Miami.
How about that?
Shout out.
But he's come back and, was the manager there.
Yeah.
He was an advisor, I think, in your organization. They said, can't think of the name. Tuya Sissoko was the base coach.
He was actually doing XM radio. MLB.
Gonzalez was?
Yeah, the MLB.
Yeah.
He was on a.
But that tells you, for a Major League Baseball team, to have base running issues should be very rare.
Number one.
Should be very rare. I mean, I get it. You can have an issue.
A blunder or two.
Yeah. But they've had a lot. For a Major League Baseball franchise to fire their third base coach at this point of the season,
It's not even all-star play.
it's unheard of. That tells you they must have really,
something's
really
going wrong, and it just doesn't happen. So part of that tells me that a move need to be made, just to shake some things up,
and I think there's a little bit of that,
and let people know, hey, no one's safe or whatever. Freddie was on Baltimore. He was the Orioles bench coach last year.
Yeah.
And they shook that up.
Yeah.
Well, how are the Orioles doing now?
Yeah. Yeah.
But back to the Braves. A couple months ago, we talked about how it's hard to hop teams to get to where you need to be.
Yep.
Well, they had hopped a couple teams. They were in pretty good shape. And now back to the skid. Guess who's not going to lose? Philly.
Yeah. And now don't look, but the Mets have jumped up again. The problem is the Braves got two teams that are basically 1 and 1A, 1A, 1B. Man, they're in a tough spot.
To your point, where the Nationals in the mix,
They're in a tough spot. So the Braves, they fired their third base coach last night. They're 1.5 games behind the Nationals right now. Strider goes tonight. Hopefully he can put another pretty good outing. I want to jump back to college baseball for a second, and then we'll go back to Major League Baseball. Trent Torch, Terry Norvelle here on a Tuesday. Be careful when you get on the road. It's very, very wet. I hope the heavy rain is over, but it's going to be very wet on the drive home. What about Florida baseball? Because something hit me as I was watching the Gators season end. I'm going to assume, and we never know nowadays, but I'm going to assume that Liam Peterson, the ace of the staff, quote unquote, is going to come back. He has to come back one more year to college. I'm assuming he's come back to Florida. Okay, hold that thought. And you saw true freshman Aiden King grow up and blow up in front of our eyes. I mean, his last 5 or 6 starts, he was nailed.
Yeah.
If they both come back to Florida, they have to play college ball one more year at least. Peterson does. King, I think, too. Who is Florida's ace next year? I mean, if you're fair and honest, who is your front? If it's one of those two guys,
I know what my vote is.
who's your ace next year?
It's not even a debate right now.
I don't think it is.
Down the stretch, you're no longer going to be a freshman. And yeah, by the way, you have to play 3 years.
Or 21 or whatever. Yeah.
So,
but I mean,
some would argue that he didn't use King properly this week.
The other day, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean,
I would have probably not burnt King against Fair. They were going to beat Fair. But that's going to be a fun development next year, long way away, when Florida starts rolling out next year. And your Friday night starter, I mean, when you get in conference play, you want to get that first game. I mean, Peterson's got good stuff, but he has a problem, which Florida staff had a problem this year. So the number one tenet as a pitcher, you got to throw strikes, man. You got to throw strikes.
Guess what hurt him in that last game?
Yeah, throw strikes.
We'll play defense.
Or yeah.
So it's like those are the two things you have to do.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how that plays out. Peterson, King, Peterson. Because you just go on the field. Peterson, King outpitched Peterson the second half of the season.
Well,
Clearly.
One thing, because you and I always talk about the Sunday starter. It's usually Johnny Holstaff.
Yeah.
We don't really have it. We don't have a guy for Sunday or whatever. And I get that it's hard. But he became that guy.
Yeah.
And he made the difference in we're 1-1 on the weekend, we're 2-0 with a chance to sweep. And he's that swing guy.
Yeah.
Down the stretch, he was a huge part of why they made the run that they made.
Yeah. Staying with Gator baseball for another moment. You said something a moment ago, Sully, his game demeanor, he's not anywhere near warm and fuzzy. I don't know Sully off the field. We know him on the field, what we see and all.
Right.
They made the Final Four last year. They were four teams standing last year, and the Florida Gators was one of them. I don't want to use the word fluke, but that wasn't a Final Four season. They got on a good hot streak. They stunk it up in postseason play this year.
Yeah.
We live in a quick society. The last thing Sully needs next year is not to turn it around.
Coupled with
sometimes you get called stale.
But I said it earlier too, coupled with a problem. And that demeanor, I mean, they were talking about it with Thibodeau in the NBA. They're hiring coaches in the NBA now that are younger and relate to these younger athletes.
Yeah.
And the old crusty guy isn't so much anymore.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I'll just tell you this: he's got to stop.
Yeah,
because if you're not winning and you got that sort of behavior,
that amplifies everything. It really does. You realize either Duke or Murray State, one of those two is going to Omaha. How about that? Duke and Murray State play each other. Duke's come close. Murray State obviously has not. Murray State or Duke will be in Omaha.
So Murray State versus Ole Miss yesterday, they were up 11-3. It was 12-5.
Here come the Rebels.
Then it was 12-11.
Yeah.
The Rebs are the home team, and it's like.
Then you feel like
I felt like
they were going to break through Ole Miss.
Yes, and
Murray fought them off.
So did I about LSU, which is what LSU did. They were down.
Yes, they were down last night.
Little Rock.
They were down last night. You are right.
It's like if you talk about animosity. If LSU doesn't even get out of their region, they don't play there.
I'll tell you who. If you're not wearing these colors with this name I'm about to say on your chest, the college baseball world, other than the Texas Longhorn fan and team and program, there's not a lot of feel sorry for Schwarzenegger after what he did last year and jumped from, and then he goes to Texas and they get beat by Texas San Antonio. You talk about little brother coming in and slapping big brother on the face. I didn't know this. San Antonio had already beaten Texas in the regular season. They're 3-0 against Texas.
Did you see his quote, by the
And
way?
they sent them home. No.
About as lame as you get. I mean, normally, what do? You tip your cap.
Sure.
Hey, they were better than us.
Sure.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
He said something to the effect of, well, most of the people that live in Texas are Texas San Antonio graduates. Something like that. It was just irrelevant and kind of a smart alecky remark.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
Don't ask me that question. That's a ridiculous question.
Yeah. But a lot of people are real happy that the Big Bad Longhorns, and they really started playing bad at the end of the year. They lost their edge.
By the way, is that the same guy last year that paraded the reporter?
Yeah.
That asked him about the Texas job?
Well, that's why. That's why.
It's a rhetorical question, but
that's why the rest of the country's not real sad to see the Longhorns get sent home. Did you see where supposedly their shoot cleat order this year? They ordered cleats from, I guess, Nike or whoever their cleat guy is, and on the inside there's a viral thing going around that says University of Texas, something about Omaha, heading to Omaha or something. And they didn't make it. You and I want to keep it here for a few more minutes. You and I haven't had a chance to talk. I might have let off the show yesterday when we were talking about college baseball, because I watched so much, like most people, over the weekend. I thought one of the stories of the weekend, all the games I watched, it was almost comical watching teams try to put a bunt down and botch the bunt when they needed it. And it was almost comical to watch a bunch of teams try to defense a bunt, field a bunt, and execute. Trent, small ball reared its head, and it made me feel good. Even though my favorite team in the world, the Gators, couldn't get a bunt down and couldn't field a bunt.
Yeah.
But it was an epidemic, and it is an epidemic in baseball. Nobody bunts anymore, and then they want to go to the bunt card. They want to defend the bunt, and they want to lay the bunt down. Trent, it made me feel good. An old school, small ball, traditional baseball player, it made me feel good watching this Keystone Cops.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the era of 3-run homer. We don't bunt, but at some point it's necessary. And here's the other thing, because I saw a lot of it this weekend too, live. It's a sacrifice bunt.
Oh, man.
Which means you show it early and get it down. These guys are squaring around the bunt late.
Looks like they're fighting the ball.
They're getting
punching at the ball.
They're not ready in it.
Yeah.
They're boxing it.
Yeah.
And then the players, all of a sudden, you're in a position where, I'll tell you, Mississippi State got to play at second base. Runner's safe because he's late. The catcher makes the wrong call. When they put the bunt down, I get that the runner's going to be in scoring position, but you got to get it out somewhere.
And
you can't just give that up.
When these teams got bunts down over the weekend, when I was watching it, the defensive team, the team in the field, it looked like some of these third basemen, mostly third base area, they were fielding balls in a no man's land. They just never are in that part of the field during the course of the season because nobody bunts. And then all of a sudden they're going, what the hell? This is a weird angle. And you can see them guiding the ball or overthrowing the ball. It's comical.
I forget the team or the game, and that doesn't matter. But same thing. Pitcher throws the pitch, bunt to the first base side. He goes to the field, and it goes under his glove.
Yeah, how about that?
There's nobody to back him up. It's crazy. When do you work on that? You work on it in the fall.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit early spring. But once the season rolls around, you're playing a lot of games.
And, not that series don't matter. Winning 2 out of 3 to win a series is baseball 101 at the college level, at the MLB level. We get that, right? Winning a series. But I think winning a series in late March in the SEC, if it's getting late, it's in the bottom of the 8th inning, it's a tight game. I don't care if it's a bunch of runs or a few runs. If it's a tight game, and one more run, you got to get a run. You need a run. You need an insurance run. You need to tie the game up. I don't think in that situation, in mid-March, mid-April, mid-May, They just say, just go ahead and match. They don't ask for the managers don't manage a bunt.
Yeah.
But then that's to win a series. To keep your season alive, 6 weeks later, 2 months later, the manager goes, oh, blank, we got to get this guy over. We want a bunt because our season's going to be on the line, and they can't get it done. They can't get it done. Anyway, that's enough for the bunt. An old guy that I was one of the great bunters of all time.
I'm sure you
I was one of the great bunters.
Yeah.
Sacrifice, bunt for a hit, and I love to hit and run. I would have hit and run every time a man was on.
That's the other thing I didn't see a lot of either.
Who hits and run anymore? Rarely do. All right, let's get off that. I got some more news and notes from Major League Baseball. I want to go over. Oh, this is going to kill you as next pitcher. I want to go over some of Paul Skenes. He's on the mound tonight. Some of his May numbers, and we might need to get a attorney to help to call Paul Skenes. He needs to sue for lack of support. You won't believe some of Paul Skenes' numbers from May. That and a whole lot more. Trenton Torsia, Terry Norvelle. Hurricane joined the creek.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
There's a look at the downtown area. I think Trenton, Georgia, as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle show. Terry Norvelle, Trenton, Georgia here. Messy out there. We knew it was coming. It's supposed to be rain in the afternoon, and they nailed it. they nailed it. So be careful.
3 rounds of it for sure.
Yeah. Let me welcome you back before we get back deep into the show. Did somebody say party? Well, matter of fact, the good folks here at Hurricanes, they said they are throwing their annual party. They do a couple parties a year, and this is a blowout. They do it every year. Did it this time last year at Hurricane Joints Creek this Saturday. Man, if you're in the area, the heart of Mandarin, all day, all night, it is there, and they open it up, Trent. Obviously, inside, outside, live music, bands in the parking lot, tents in the parking lot. Drink stations, all the great Hurricane Joints Creek food. They've got American lager specials, $3 pints, Bud. They'll have Michelob Ultra, Bud Light. The good folks at Brackish Vodka will be on hand. Stella will be on hand. Cornhole tournament going on. If you want to play, contact the folks right here. There'll be prizes given out in the cornhole tournament. So contact good folks here at Hurricanes Joints Creek for this Saturday. Big party. Like I said, bands outside. 50-50 raffle, just a lot of stuff. I think one of the prizes for might be the cornhole tournament is this 50-something inch TV. You got to come here, man.
I think I'm going to make it
all day, all night.
Well, I don't know that I'm all day.
All day. Yeah, go back. You just spent a lot of time on a college campus. You're feeling a little frisky, right? Remember those college days? But seriously, it is a big spring, summer, just fun blowout that they throw here at Hurricane Joints Creek this Saturday, all day, all night. Man, if you're in this Mandarin area, it's going to be a lot of fun. And they know how to do it and do it right. We saw some sad news on the feed a moment ago. Jim Marshall, some older folks remember from the Vikings, big defensive lineman, passed away at the age of 87.
For people eaters.
Oh, that was a fun team.
Anytime your group has a nickname like that, you're pretty good.
What happened? And let me give a second, though. Longtime Minnesota Viking defensive end, Jim Marshall, who for decades held the NFL record for most consecutive games played, died Tuesday after long hospitalization, according to the team. He was 87. How about this? Marshall, that's a defensive lineman, right? For this record, kind of that doesn't jive with this record. Marshall joined the Vikings in their inaugural season of 1961, and played in every game thereafter. His record of 282 consecutive games played, 270 of those with the Vikings, which he established upon retiring in 79, stood until quarterback Brett Favre broke it. Wow. How about that? But, quarterbacks are protected.
100%. I was just about to say that. You can't even compare those two records. That has to stand on its own as a quote position player, right?
I agree. I mean, that is impressive. And I remember him part of that Purple People League.
But do you remember those guys back then? You think you reference Jack Youngblood?
Yeah.
Local guy played with a broken leg.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is just.
What happened to back in that 70s era, mainly when Marshall 60s, 70s, the Minnesota Viking, that front four, the Purple People Eaters. What happened to the good nicknames? The Doomsday Defense, was that Dallas and
Steel Curtain?
Steel Curtain. The Dolphins had one. What was their the no name?
The no name defense.
The no name defense. And all these great. What happened?
Killer Bees. They had the Killer Bees.
Yeah.
That's all their name was Bees.
What happened to all these good nicknames?
Part of it is
they
don't hang around that long.
I guess.
So
I guess maybe
that's a little bit of it.
Steel Curtain, Purple People Eaters.
It's just like we've said about
remember let me cut you off. The Redskins. George Allen coached the Redskins at that one period, and his philosophy was go get veteran players. He was churn and burn. He was kind of ahead of his time. He almost had a portal. He'd get established guys and use them for a year or two and get rid of them. They were called the over the hill game. And they almost beat the undefeated
Hogs, too.
And the Hogs, the offensive line. What happened to the good nicknames in the NFL? Do we still have them? Casey, do we still have them? Am I just forgetting them? The position unit nicknames.
Well,
What happened to those?
What was it?
Need more of those.
The Legion of Boom.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll take that.
Seattle
The secondary.
defensive backs.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that. Maybe I'm just forgetting her.
But still, that goes back quite a while ago. It was Richard Sherman. How long ago was that?
Yeah. That was a while ago. But Jim Marshall passes away. Part of the Carl Eller, Jim Marshall, and those guys. Remember the deal with it? Wasn't it Eller?
When did Jack Del Rio play?
Oh, he was much longer than that.
Are you sure?
Oh,
much
wait.
longer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Way past that. That
That
heyday.
would have been 20 years later.
Yeah. That heyday was in the 70s.
I was trying to mix them in there.
Yeah. Why not? Just age him 25 years. Sure, he appreciates that. Carl Eller was also part of that. Remember the four? I can't remember all of them, but the four linemen were the Purple People Eaters, and Carl Eller, he went on to be a longtime judge. Wasn't he the judge?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a judge there for a long time. The Steelers, back in that 70s era, the Steelers, the Cowboys battled each other. The Rams.
Remember you had a name, Mean Joe Green?
Mean
I mean,
Joe.
who's called Mean Joe Green?
Yeah. Steel Curtain. That was great. Wasn't it?
Yes.
That was great.
I didn't like it. They took my fins out a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. And here came the Steelers and said, we're going to take over. The Dolphins had the 70s in there early. Remember, Dolphins went, 3 consecutive, and then the third one they were undefeated. They lost, and went undefeated.
Yeah.
And then
They still champagne toast that much.
yeah. And then the Steelers said, we're going to take over the 70s midway, and they took it over pretty
Well,
good.
then it became, remember, it was Steelers and Raiders for the longest time.
Battling
too.
it out, man. Oh, they battled it
John
out.
Madden
Oh,
storming the
you
sidelines.
see where there's some kind of John Madden movie coming out? Nicholas Cage, and I can't remember. Casey, you may remember the other kind of famous actor that's going to play. Nicholas Cage
He plays Madden,
Nicholas Cage is playing Madden.
so he's got to beef up there.
Yeah, and there's
Right.
Yeah, and then who's the owner? Al Davis is played by some famous actor guy. You know the name. And there's shots of them out there now. But the movie's Madden. It's a movie about John Madden. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Man.
if they do it right.
Why not?
A lot of times for sports movies, you truly question a lot of sports movies. Did the director have any athletic history of their own ever? Right? You ever feel like you watch a movie and then you're like, he's got to find actors that can play better than that. I can't watch a baseball movie when John Goodman was trying to swing as Babe Ruth, and it was so bad. It took away from the movie. You remember that movie?
That actually gives Kevin Costner a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
And Bull Durham.
Yeah. And Costner,
He used to play baseball a little bit.
and he knows the game and he loves the game. So he didn't, when he would go out to the mound, he knew the language. You know?
I think
sports have language.
Part of those movies that kind of tell the tale.
Yeah.
How much is the Madden family looking at this going, you're going to take that out?
Yeah.
You
I wonder if
can't
they had
do
control
that.
or if it's totally independent, you
I
know?
don't know. I don't know how that works.
Well,
I think
you could make a movie about anything. But if you make a movie about John Madden, you probably want to get the blessing because then you get more stuff that you might need. But no, you can make a movie.
yeah, but then they dictate what you put in and put out.
If you go to them.
Call it based on a true story.
Yes,
It's
if you want it
not
to be
all-
I mean, I can make a movie about you if I want it. You don't have to agree that, you know.
It'd be pretty interesting.
Now, I don't think it would be at all.
Oh, okay.
I think it'd be a short story, real short story, pal. But getting back to sports movies, and there are a million of them out there, and some of them are decent, but when it gets to the action part, most of them, it's as if the directors and producers had no athletic background because they would have. There are scenes in sports movies that you've seen that there's no way you wouldn't, if you were directing, you wouldn't go cut. That wasn't even a fifth grader swing.
No.
We can't have that on film and say this is the Ty Cobb story. You know, we can't have Ty Cobb, right?
No, and I don't like those movies like The Natural where it's just
It got where the scoreboard.
it
The
doesn't
Natural
happen.
was watchable, but I didn't need the scoreboard busting into
You're
the
not gonna
fire.
watch it over and over.
I didn't need the scoreboard getting hit and flames coming out and stuff.
I say this all the time. Bull Durham was as close as it gets, having played minor league baseball myself. The bus rides, somebody playing a guitar, the old vet coming down and rehab assignment saying, shut up, meat or whatever, and stuff like that.
And
That was as realistic.
And then, I love what you just said about Costner coming down, the veteran. He thought, okay, one more crack at the show. I've got one more crack. Hey, they think I've got a little game. And it was a quick moment because he was a wily veteran. He looked up and he goes, wait a minute. I'm here just to nurture this guy. I'm not here for,
And that guy's character wasn't that realistic. That was probably in my opinion, the worst part of the movie.
Yes.
The way they portrayed it. Picture Luka or whatever it is. Right? He wrote that movie, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. The trips to the mound were great. The trips to the mound were hilarious.
Well, I can tell you what, they didn't go that way.
No. Way too much cutesy wootsy stuff. Yeah.
Especially when if the pitching coach or the head coach comes out and does one of these, stay back, everybody else.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a fun conversation.
No, not at all. Do we have, let me hear Patrick stirring around in the background. Do you hear somebody stirring around in the background?
I do.
Oh, Patrick Young, you got to say something. Are you shy? Don't be shy.
No,
man.
sometimes I like to jump in and just hear what you're talking about and just see, do I need to come on this show anymore or do I need to just banish myself?
Pat,
And
it
so
is
far,
your
so
show.
far,
It's your show. Of course you need to be on it. Come on, man. How you doing? What's new? What's going on?
oh, pretty cool, man. I wanted to, do you guys know the name? Jason Arnold.
Jason Arnold, the left-hander for Florida State.
UCF. Drafted by the Yankees in 01.
Okay, different guy. Okay, what about
Different
him?
guy. He's a buddy of mine, and I formed a friendship with him. He man, you guys having a party in there?
Yeah,
A little bit.
and Saturday there's a big party here. Come on.
He'd love to hop on our baseball segment at some point and talk some baseball.
We'll see.
His son's a 10th grader catcher, getting recruited by everyone.
Really? Where's he play
Yes.
at? Do you know? Where's he play
I
at?
forgot the name of the school. They made it to the Final Four. They
Is it
didn't win
local?
state this year.
Is he local
No,
or out of town?
he's based down in Melbourne.
Okay.
They're based down in Melbourne, and he played a good amount in the pros with the Yankees, and he's got plenty of baseball stories. He's given me a few of them, and I'm like, dude, we got to have you on with
Nice.
Trent Torsia and
Nice.
Terry. Those
Yeah,
guys
well, I feel
love baseball.
A lot of those stories can't be aired, though. That's the problem.
Dude,
Patrick,
I heard that on planes, which I can't believe, on the charter planes, there's guys drinking and partying between games. I'm like, what the world?
oh yeah, I would imagine every MLB charter that gets up in the air has got a couple coolers.
Well,
if you want to have a few beers.
People still get in trouble on that, those long flights.
But the MLB, I imagine there's guys that don't drink, but there's guys that, I'm sure there's a cooler or two.
But they're
when you're getting on a
gambling.
plane.
They have it in the
They're
clubhouse.
drinking
Yeah, exactly.
and they're gambling.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
well, you can't blame these guys. They got so much disposable income,
Yeah.
That's
and
a
then they
bad
have
mix,
so much
though,
time.
right?
Yeah. And you
So much time.
but if you're on the, Braves, let's say Braves finish tonight in Atlanta and they're heading to Milwaukee. They get all cleaned up. They head to the airport. Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple coolers of beer. Hell, the skippers are going to want a beer maybe once they get in the air to unwind a little bit. But as a player, you can't get too loose. Your entire management's in the front of the plane, right? You better not get too stupid, right, Pat?
I do have one funny story it's terrible. So
These are my favorite stories.
my first year with the Mariners, we're in rookie ball. And the rule was if you threw a shutout, complete game shutout, you got to drink a beer in the clubby.
Nice.
So
That's fair.
I throw a shutout, and I'm in the training room, icing my arms, sitting back, and I got a call boy that our pitching coach gave me.
Nice.
And our closer comes in. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing, man? Why does he get a beer?" He goes, "Oh, he threw a 3-game shutout." He goes, "Well, I want to be a starter."
Hey, wait a minute. You got to give me something for a save, right?
Yeah.
Patrick, did you watch much baseball, softball over the weekend? It was everywhere.
I did.
Baseball and softball.
It was everywhere, man. I got snippets of Tennessee coming back to win that game against Wake.
Oh.
Who else did I see? I mean,
it all runs
sure you
together.
guys already talked about it. Kevin O'Sullivan and the
NCAA. Sully was wrong. He probably knows he was wrong. That was the wrong way to approach that, and wrong place. You got to walk in the hallway or somewhere.
You take that guy to the hallway and rip him a new one if you have to.
Yeah. He was
I
wrong.
can understand the frustration that he has, but you don't. I mean, just a bad look.
Well, he sold him out, right? Well, Patrick, that was what I was saying too. When your AD has to come out and write an apology for it.
Yeah, he was wrong.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He basically, you could tell that they had the PR department do an apology and sign Sully's name to it. But he was wrong. Look, I mean, it's not a fireable offense. He was wrong. Move on. He was wrong.
Look, I don't ever want to say, obviously Sullivan, his record, he is obviously a great baseball coach. But just in my time at Florida, we had interactions with the football coach and the softball coach, and I don't remember any crossover with Coach Sullivan to
really.
See, just because obviously there's greatness. There's greatness, and he might be kind of like Spurrier, where he's a genius when it comes to football or a genius when it comes to baseball. And that's their strength. Yeah. When it comes to all the other stuff, it might rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, sure.
Because what makes them great in their strength makes them a little bit of an a-hole everywhere else.
That's exactly right.
Could be. Hey, I want to take you guys back. Hopefully, I tell you, one program, baseball, over the weekend, man, they had tough losses. Oh, the Georgia Bulldog baseball team, their 2 losses were just brutal, man. They lose to Duke in a just wonderful game, back and forth and back and forth. And then Patrick and Trent, you probably saw it, they lose the next day, the elimination game to Oklahoma State. It was the same game. It was drama and both teams making plays. And Patrick, Georgia, and this is hard to do. You can only do this in tournament play. Georgia got walked off their own field and their season ended. You think about it, you can't get walked off unless you're in a tournament because you're always the home team in a regular game.
Oh man.
They were the visiting team Sunday. Oklahoma State hits 2 2-run homers in the ninth.
Yeah.
And the second one walked. So Georgia's team season ended.
Georgia hosted that.
Well, it goes
why
back
would
and
they
forth.
not?
It goes back. It alternates. And it was Oklahoma State's time. And had they played one more, had they played another game, they would have been the home against Duke, probably.
When it comes down to the team that has to win 2, if there's a case, they coin flip game 1.
Yeah.
And then game 2, you're reversing.
Yeah.
So funny side story, Mississippi State was the home team against Florida State in Tallahassee. Right. And we were like, can they get their dugout?
Yeah.
In their locker room?
Yeah.
Or do you lock the locker room and do all that?
Yeah. But it was Georgia baseball, man. I watched both of those games. They were great games, but man, it was a grind, man. It was tough to see them. Those players. I mean, and baseball is that sport with no clock. You don't know. It's not like it's 10-9. You know something's going to happen with 1 second. Baseball, man, all of a sudden that pitch gets hit, and you go, oh my God, if that goes over the fence, the game's over and our season's over. Ooh,
yeah,
it was tough, Pat. It was tough.
Well, did you guys get? Let's get over to the greatest game on dirt.
Yeah.
softball, man. Gosh, that girl,
it's
Nyjah Kennedy,
man,
she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what?
Did
you hear earlier?
She had a great hit that saved the game. I think they had Texas the first one.
Yeah.
No, not Texas, Tennessee, or she had a great hit that put them up, and then, I mean, she shut them down until the bottom of the seventh.
What about that girl for Oklahoma?
Oklahoma is so good.
They got it, man.
You can never count them out.
Never.
No, they've done a lot of that too.
The ninth hitter who hit only 2 home runs.
There you go. I knew she wasn't a home run hitter. She wasn't a home run hitter.
0-2 count. Takes a yard. Extra. I mean, they're lucky there wasn't another person on base.
I know. I tell you, man. And I'm starting to hear national people talk about women's softball. And I heard driving in today, they are women's softball, the tournament in Oklahoma City. They're starting to get in the millions of viewers. I mean, women's softball, and I feel like we helped birth this.
Yeah, but
women's softball is really gaining in popularity. And Pat, have you heard?
Who's the we? Who's the we?
Me. I love it. I've been pitching women's softball for 5 years. 10 years.
Fair. That's fair.
I have, Pat. Patrick,
all right, Trent. I'm glad you backed him up. I was gonna give him a hard.
Pat, did you hear?
My man, do not like women's basketball.
No. It's unwatchable.
Never went down that path.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. The WNBA is compared to women's softball. The skill level, the WNBA is unwatchable. It is unwatchable. I think.
Yeah. I've watched quite a bit of it this year.
If you watch the Liberty are undefeated and the Mystics, if you watch, it's those top level teams that are very watchable. I get it, Terry. It's the ones sometimes it's like you can't dunk. You should have perfected the layup. The layup should be perfected.
Who are you talking about?
It's not.
Who are you talking about there? The Angel?
Hey man,
the Angel.
I can go on X and find a clip where they show 3 minutes of a game where women are missing layups galore.
Angel Reese is the one doing it. It's terrible. Did you hear, Patrick, where Major League Baseball has bought into a professional softball league? I think that thing's going to give it a couple years. I think it's going to work.
If we had a softball team in Jacksonville, I would absolutely bring my daughter.
Yeah.
I would go. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
And look, hey, let's be real. Sam Landry is not hard to look at.
It's a cutie for Oklahoma. Yeah. He was a cutie, wasn't
she and my buddy Dari Noka, I said, Dari, man, Sam Landry, I said the same thing. He's like, you like that librarian look? I said, Dari, I used to skip mandatory study hall. If Sam Landry was in my study hall, I would have never skipped.
No.
Are you kidding me?
I'd have been a straight A student. Yeah, she's a cutie. Hey, what kind of, hold on, Dari Noka from SEC Network. What kind of question is about a woman? Do you like the librarian look? Yeah. Yeah. What kind of question is that? I'm taking his man card away.
Oh, that's great.
Has anybody ever said no to that?
No.
Money.
No to the no.
Hey, I had one of these moments.
That professional, it's like that professional look, man.
Yeah.
Like that's a woman. That's a professional
librarian.
Independent woman. That's just in my mind. That's just what I think in my mind.
Hey, I had one of those moments.
Guys,
go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Pat.
Have you guys seen the movie Captain Phillips?
Yes, the boat, the big ship movie.
Have you seen Captain Phillips?
I have not.
Yeah, so that's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That's the guy that says, "Oh, dude, Trent, it's a great movie." It actually is.
It's a pretty good movie. It's an old movie, but it's pretty good.
In the movie, the ship gets hijacked. I mean, I'll just tell you that.
Pirates, yeah.
And the main guy, the pirate, he says, "I'm the captain now." and he's got that kind of South Sudan kind of look.
Yes, yes.
Some brilliant mind on the internet, they got Pascal Siakam, and they cropped him as the guy to say, "I am the captain now."
I'm the
and
captain
it has
now.
all the Knicks players are around him, like cowering in fear. It is one of the best memes I've ever seen.
That is great. It's a good movie. It's
It is one of the best memes.
When we say pirates, it's modern day. You remember it's about 10 years ago in the shipping lanes all over the world, half the world had pirates taking over these big ships.
Right.
And this is based off that. Tom Hanks was the captain. Yep. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. It really was.
It was a really good movie.
All right, I had one of those.
It's fair to say I don't think Tom Hanks has ever put out a bad movie.
I tell you, man, he's got a library of movies, doesn't he?
I don't think
he's just got. He has to rubber stamp what he's going to be in.
Hey,
those guys, those A-listers aren't doing low budget movies.
Yeah, he's to the point now. He just unless the script jumps off his hand. He said, "I'm not wasting time." Hey, you remember last week we had that Jim Irsay collection story, and he was a great before he died. He was a great collector.
Oh yeah.
He was a great collector, and he had all incredible music, pop culture. Speaking of Tom Hanks, he said in the interview I was reading before he passed away, he said one of the items that he passed on, and he kicked himself, and it wasn't a big ticket item. He had a chance to bid on, and it went for $18,000. The volleyball from the movie Castaway, from Tom Hanks' movie. And he passed on. He goes, "Why didn't I get that?" Wilson.
Yeah, the ball's name was Wilson.
The ball's name was Wilson because it was a Wilson volleyball. Yeah. All right, guys. I had something happen over the weekend.
Wilson.
Watching college baseball. So I meet a buddy of mine, and we go up to Bricks, one of our old places in Jacksonville Beach. And we go up to watch baseball. And they've got this spread.
Surprised you didn't go to Twin Peaks.
Yeah, no. I went there the day before. We watched the Gator first game at Twin Peaks, and they got drilled. They got beat. But so me and my buddy on Sunday, I think it was, I can't remember, Saturday or Sunday, we're at Bricks, and we're going to watch baseball. The Gator game, and we got this 3 big TVs right in front of us. So we got the Gator game coming on. We've got, squeeze play in front of us with all the games highlights, and we've got Alabama playing. Can't remember who they were playing. Alabama. So everything's set up good. And this really nice guy walked up, wasn't with us. He walks up, sits down. He's been there about 20, 30 minutes. He's ordering food and everything. He's sitting next to me, but a chair away, kind of. And so as the college baseball is really starting to get going, and we're going to have a couple games plus. He's really nice. He asked the server at the bar, he says, "Hey, can you switch this?" And I think this is the only guy in the history of the world who's ever done this. He asked the bar, and he's a patron, so he's buying stuff. He goes, "Could y'all put that on the UFL game?"
Are you serious?
And Pat, he asked for the UFL game. Nobody in the world has ever said, "Would you put the TV on the UFL game?" And here's the thing. So we missed the Alabama. He was a nice guy, though, so we weren't going to say, "Dude, what are you doing? You're killing our jam here."
Yeah.
Right? You're killing our jam here. But here's the thing. He had his beers. He ordered food. He had his meal. And with like a minute left in the third quarter, he gets up and leaves. So he ruined the game for us, and he didn't even stay for the whole game.
So he doesn't even watch the game.
He just he watched a little football for about an hour and a half.
Are you kidding me?
And then he left. And I'm like,
he needed a football.
Are you kidding me?
I guess we're like, dude, you killed our jam. He killed it. Has anybody in the world asked?
And it's hard to say. Was he? Did
Really
it look
nice
like
guy.
he was? Did it look like he was gambling?
No, he did not look like it was a
Did
gambling.
it seem like he was gambling?
No, that was a good question. He did not seem like he was hard rocking that game. He was just watching a little football, and I mean, me and my buddy were stunned. We weren't gonna. It wasn't worth. Hey, guy, we really would rather watch Alabama baseball here. But he's a nice guy. But then he gets up and leaves at the end of the third quarter. And then the Alabama game was. We didn't even. He killed our jam, Patrick. He just killed our jam.
Was the UFL game? Was it close?
It was terrible. It was god awful. It was.
I've not watched one
It
of
was
those
got
games yet.
one of their games from this was the end of the regular season. One of their games last week, Memphis reported 2,044 fans. How many fans are really there if they reported 2,044? Did you see the picture? Did any of y'all see the picture from the Marlins game yesterday? The Marlins hosted the Rockies. How bad would that have been?
The Rockies have like 9 wins.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the Marlins, nobody goes to their games.
No.
They hosted the Rockies, and I saw a shot. There were hardly anybody. Now, they said there was a severe rainstorm, really bad South Florida rainstorm, but nobody goes to those games anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, Pat, looks like you need to get going. You need to get going, buddy. Looks like you need to get going. Okay. Hey, good checking in. Did you see where the Knicks fired Thibodeau today? The Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. How about that?
Didn't they say that he was safe at first?
I thought.
That's what you always
I
say.
think they said he was safe.
They fired him.
And the problem with that is, for the past 5 years, he's been to the playoffs, and they have not been relevant for decades.
Strange deal in the NBA.
Listen, Patrick,
Well,
you'll
he'll-
love this.
Tom Thibodeau will get
He
another
was too
job.
hard on his players.
Too tough. Yeah, too mean, they said. Too mean, Patrick. Mean guy. Old guy. Mean guy.
I mean, you can look at if you look at him, you do look and think, oh man, he is.
He's
But
one of the old
You're
school. Yeah.
professional athletes.
Yeah.
You're professional
Yeah.
athletes.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
All right.
All
right.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
All right, Pat, we'll let you get about your business. We're starting to wrap this thing up. We'll check in with you as the week progresses. That's Patrick Young, our buddy, the Young and Norvelle show, checking in, moving and grooving. We got 1 segment left. I've got some more baseball. I want to go over the schemes. I didn't get to that. Paul Skenes, his May, the numbers are just, wow. He's got to get away from Pittsburgh. He's got to get away from Pittsburgh. All right, we'll come back and start landing this plane here on a Tuesday, live from Hurricane Joint Creek.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Oh boy. One of those afternoons. Cool but wet. Trenton Torch just
If you're there right now, head south.
Head south is right.
The sun is poking out south of downtown.
Yeah, here in Mandarin. Trenton Torch, Terry Norvelle here on a Tuesday. We are live at Hurricane, Jointed Creek. Mandrinites, Jointed Creekites, anybody in this area, I'm talking to you right now. They are throwing a huge party. They do it all the time. This time of year here on Saturday, all day, all night, open to close here at Hurricane Jointed Creek all day this Saturday. Big party, indoor, outdoor. They'll take over the parking lot. There's plenty of parking anyway. They're going to have tents set up, beer stations outside, Stella. They've got American Lager, $3 pints coming up, all kinds of stuff. Stella and Brackish will be on hand, on site. Live bands will be playing. Cornhole tournaments, big party this Saturday. You're looking to kind of kick off spring, summer. That's what they're doing here at Hurricane Jointed Creek. If you're in the Mandarin area, it's going to be a all-day blowout, including a cornhole tournament.
Yep. And I'm not a weatherman, but my understanding is the weather should be clear.
Nice. Clear it out.
Thursday at the latest.
How about those cool mornings we had several days ago? We had 3 or 4 mornings where it felt 60s, frisky out there. Felt good. Felt real good. Paul Skenes wanted to get to this. He's on the mound tonight. He's a lot of fun to track. Got to get out of Pittsburgh, or Pittsburgh's got to start wanting to be a real franchise. How about Paul Skenes? He had five starts in May. He had 3 consecutive starts in May where he lost. Okay, here are those starts: May 6th, May 12th, and May 18th. Okay, how about this? How about this lack of support? How about on May 6th, Paul Skenes, 8 innings pitched, 3-hitter, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. Couldn't get a win there. May 12th, his next outing, he had 6 innings pitched. He gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Couldn't get a win there. His next outing in May, the 18th, another 6 innings pitched. He gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Couldn't get a win. Those 3 combined, he gave up 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 hits. Some guys give up 12 hits in one game.
Yeah.
He gave up 12 in these 3 starts to 4 total earned runs. Oh, it's criminal. It's criminal.
What are they going to do? Because he has already said, I want to stay in Pittsburgh. Now, that was at the beginning of the season. That's going to get old there, man.
Quick.
And I'm going to tell you.
With a quickness.
So a couple things have to happen. Obviously, he was a big bonus, baby, but now he's on that rookie contract. I don't really know for how long or how that works. But if he works his way out of that, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you're going to get some to pull.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a buyer out there the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The Yankees.
Absolutely.
You know,
Skenes goes tonight. They're at home. The Pirates, Houston comes in.
get out of Pittsburgh.
And Skenes, by the way, right now, he is 4-5. His record is 4-5, 2.15 ERA with 77 strikeouts. He's 4-5, but his major league ERA is 2.15.
Look at Nolan Ryan's stats.
He's
We were debating all this one night. Was Nolan, elite? And then you look it up. His lifetime ERA over 27 seasons, however long he played.
Yeah.
Sub-3.
7:45 tonight, Major League Baseball. Kansas City Royals at St. Louis. You say, who cares? Caglione. Got Caglione will make his debut. That'll be fun to track. And a little bit of concern. You don't want to rush these guys too quick. But he a lot like Wyatt Langford, his former Gator teammate. Langford hit the minor leagues, and he bullied his way in to the bigs quickly. Too quick, but how do you keep a guy on the farm? Keep a guy on the farm.
I don't think you do. And what some of these teams are doing with these rookies. And I know he was drafted last year. I get that.
Yeah.
So he's not a rookie any longer. But they wait to call you up for service based on money.
It'll be fun to note this, and I kind of wrote it down. You'll help me to remember it. Casey will. Caglione will get called up, and the Royals are 2 games over 500, so they're 31-29. It'd be good to note they are 8 games out of their division lead, but they're like a game and a half out of the wild card. I mean, they're right in the middle of the wild card, and they need power. They've got pitching. They don't have a lot of offense. Bobby Witt, Jonathan India struggled a little bit. I think India's on that team now with that Singer trade. They need power. They need a scare you in the lineup, and that's why they drafted him.
But incidentally, I don't know if we talked about this last week or not, but I read somewhere Bobby Witt has been a great mentor.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It looks like
he's proactively, and big leaguers don't do this. He has proactively reached out to him and had conversations with him on preparation and nutrition, all that stuff.
The word is Caglione, and it'll be something fun to track tonight. Is that bat? Where is he going to play? It looks like he's going to play the outfield. When he got called up to AAA, and he only played 15 games or so in AAA, or whatever, 30-something games, I guess. He had been playing some outfield. It looks like they want to leave their first baseman, and they don't really want to use him as a DH. Well, they need offense. So let him play a position. Then you've got a DH and the first baseman. But I think Casey and I were debating this a little bit yesterday. I think he's a good enough athlete that he's not going to be a Gold Glove outfielder. But I think he covers enough ground. Obviously, got a good arm. Does he have the outfield mechanics? It's a different world catching a huge fly ball. But I think he'll be okay. They certainly want him to eat up one of the outfielders, so they can still use the DH,
because you don't want to burn them on the DH.
I saw somewhere, I think the Royals are like the second from the bottom in run scored. I mean, I think it's the Rockies and the Royals. They don't have a lot of offense, and they don't hit the long ball. And, why they drafted him. That's why they drafted him. It'd be fun to track.
Be curious to see where they put him in the lineup, too.
Yeah. I was kidding around with this, but I'm pretty serious about it. If I was saying earlier in the year, if you're Major League Baseball, the All-Star break, the All-Star game, the All-Star festivities come from nothing. It's just fun, stir up, get some PR. I was saying way before this, if you're Major League Baseball, why wouldn't you call Cags up as a who cares if he's not in the big at the time? Bring him up for the home run derby. Well, now, if he hits a couple home runs,
that'd be fun.
It'd be damn sure be fun. One of the biggest boppers in minor league baseball. We looked it up yesterday too. The Royals have a series with the Yankees. Before the first half is over, so they'll see the Yankees. Before the season's over, the Royals play the Pirates, so there could be a tag scheme. Major League Baseball love that.
Oh yeah,
it was a storyline.
Yep,
look at the storyline.
Especially with those two teams.
We've got 10 minutes left. Do you have anything you want to get to? I want to get to the Bananas, Savannah Bananas, real quick. I don't want to shut your stuff out.
I reference.
What do we got?
They start tomorrow night. repeat of last year's
Final.
Stanley Cup, Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers.
And Florida's the prohibitive favorite. Is that right?
Yeah, but the Edmonton has home ice advantage.
Okay.
So I don't know really how that works, but Florida's not had home ice most of the playoffs.
Gotcha.
But anyway, it's kind of a neat story. Florida, the Panthers are looking for back-to-back championships. You always say it, hard to win championships.
It really is.
One, and then to repeat it. Canada, as a country, the hockey country that it is.
They're not a country. They're the 51st state. Aren't they? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, couldn't resist. Go ahead.
Have not won the Stanley Cup in over 20 years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's going to hurt those guys.
Well,
That's their sport.
That's
their national sport.
Yep. That's why that Canadian-American, remember that they did that mid-season thing?
Yeah. I do.
That's why that was so significant.
Yeah. And they won it, right? Canada pulled it out at the very end.
They sure did.
And, boy, they stuck their chest out, too.
It was an overtime. Yeah, that was big.
Yeah, they stuck their chest out. So that's tonight. It's going to 7 or tomorrow night? Tomorrow night. Wanted to get to this real quick. If you don't have anything else off your page. The Savannah Bananas. Well, this phenomenon, I think it'll hook on and it'll stay. They're huge right now. They're doing a barnstorming tour, and they're selling out. They're playing football stadiums. They're massaging the infield.
Yeah.
They're playing baseball stadiums. How about this past weekend? And I think they'll stick around. They draw to two entities. I think will always bring a crowd. They are always going to draw the kids. They're the Globetrotters on a baseball field.
Yeah.
And I think they appeal to women. There's kind of dancing, and they're silly and fun, so it's not hardcore sports. If you can get women / moms / wives that are going to bring husbands / boyfriends / kids, I think this thing's going to stick around, kind of like the Globetrotters. Do you?
Yeah, it's been around long enough, and at one point it was just kind of a minor league thing.
I agree.
Out of Savannah, you played at wherever they play. There's a stadium there, but now that you're playing in big league venues,
I mean, they're selling out. They were at Hudson's Tiger Stadium. 70,000 people there. Wow. 60,000 people there. I bring them up for another reason, and I think it's got staying power. I'm not crazy about. I'm not going to run and go. If you got a ticket, so tell you, let's go. They were here not that long ago, and I actually worked at an event across the street. And it was amazing. They were at the baseball stadium. I think there's a concert that night. And this was only a year or so ago. And the game was like at 7:30. They have a massive merchandise setup that travels with them. There were people 5 hours ahead of time. The line was doing this. It was so long to get merchandise. But I bring them up a little bit because they played over the weekend in California. Well, the Yankees were playing the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium this past weekend. Dodgers kind of roughed them up.
Okay.
And, of course, that was a big series. And they sold out. L.A. at times doesn't show up, and they leave early. But, no, it was sold out. This is not to say that it wasn't sold out in Dodger Stadium. That was a big series, World Series makeup. But the Bananas were playing in Anaheim. Okay? They played 2 games, Savannah Bananas, last weekend, same time the Yankees and Dodgers were playing. Bananas had 245,000 sellouts. That's crazy. And how about this?
And you referenced the Marlins. The Marlins crowd, right?
Can't open the door to stay free.
Yeah.
And the cheapest ticket for the Yankees-Dodgers, big draw now. That was a big series. They got a lot of publicity. The cheapest ticket there was $171. The cheapest you could get in to see the Savannah Bananas was $209. How about that? And hold on, the Bananas, all those two games, 45,000 in both, they were a lottery system. You had to get into a lottery to get the right to buy. You couldn't just go buy and they sold 45,000. It's so different. It's the Bananas ticket right now is like Taylor Swift.
It's like the Masters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Win the lottery.
They were all 45,000 twice over the weekend were lottery system, and you get the right, and you can only buy so many. You can only get
four,
yeah. I don't really have I'm not going to run and go to them.
No,
but I can see the appeal.
I mean, I've seen clips on the internet.
It will last, don't you think? I think it'll have staying.
It's already lasted like 5 years. I mean, what's the going rate for something that crashes and burns? Probably a couple of years, maybe 3 at the most to pick up the funding. They're funding themselves. It's not a lost leader for some wealthy business person.
Anyway, I just want to get that out real quick. Another little note from the NBA. We'll talk a little NBA. Obviously, the finals start on Thursday. There's talk now. The Mavericks and the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks. He made he orchestrated the Luka trade, and of course the fans went nuts, and nobody still understands that really. Luka's still got at least 5 big time years in him, right? 5 to 7.
He's like 25.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, you know about that trade. Luka goes to the Lakers, and then Dallas wins the lottery, the ping pong ball thing. So they get the first pick.
And the conspiracy theorists came out.
Yeah, they did. And now there's talk. And how would the Dallas Maverick fan base feel about this? There's obviously Dallas has the first pick, and the first pick is going to go grab Cooper Flag. They think he's a generational player. We'll see. But he's the first pick. There's a little bit of whisperings. Would the Mavericks trade them if they could get a huge bounty for them? Can you imagine the fan base? You just traded Luka, and then you pass on Flag. But if you could get enough, and there's talk that franchises like San Antonio may give up the world to get that pick. They want to pair Cooper Flag and Wemby.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, so they would give up the world for that. There's also talk. Giannis is on the trade block from when I was reading an article. Do you work something? But he's in his third. What would the fan base feel though in Dallas if they hey, what if the fan base next year goes to watch the Dallas Mavericks? They don't see Luka and they don't see Cooper Flag.
How do you feel if you're Mark Cuban who built that thing and then sold majority shares? So it's like, I think there'd be upheaval.
Wouldn't it?
Honest to God, I think there would be protests.
But buddy, if they get a block, I mean, we're talking. Let's say San Antonio, there'd be 3 first-round picks and a player that's ready to get
more than that,
right?
More than 3. I'm telling you.
Look what I get. This is bad TV, but look what I get from Brent Beard. He does this every year. Athlon's is out. Athlon's college football, and he sends me that. Kind of love Brent Beard. I can't wait to get my hands on it either. But yeah, getting back, we got about a minute and a half. You would have to get so much to appease your fan base, and you still wouldn't appease them all.
Well, and then here's the other problem. Nobody knows if Cooper Flag's going to be the next.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. You roll the dice there.
But you get the picks. You still have to hit on the picks.
Yeah.
And that's where that would have the third piece of the story.
That is a good point.
Fan base. And go, not only give up these 2 guys.
Yeah.
You didn't draft.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But you hit a good point. Getting those 2 or 3 future first-round picks to have that would help if you hit them. What if you miss on? Trent, thanks for sitting in, buddy. We always enjoy it. Obviously, we'll do it a bunch more all summer. And I mean, baseball. But you've got great sports knowledge across the board. A lot of baseball and softball winding down tomorrow. Speaking of Brent Beard, he'll be on the show. We'll catch up with Brent. He'll be a kid in a candy store Christmas morning with the football magazine out. And then, of course, we'll talk with Dr. Aaron Bates. Unfortunately, a lot of injuries to discuss. Our sports medicine segment sponsored by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Florida State, for Florida State fans, we announced they go Friday at 6, right? And Florida State baseball, they're at Oregon State. Long trip for the Noles. They will go Friday at 6, and then Saturday at 9 o'clock. No matter what, you're going to get 2 games.
Right.
Miami made Miami innocuous. 20 seconds left. They got no publicity. They're in the Super Regional. That'll do it. He's Trenton Torsia. I'm Terry Norvelle. I want to thank Patrick Young for checking in as well. We'll get together tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the Wednesday edition. Thanks to everybody here at Hurricanes, Joint Creek, for hosting us. Talk to you tomorrow, everybody.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is.